I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with YouTube. I'll be with you as soon as I can. That's working.
It doesn't matter.
Ah, thank you for bearing with me. Finally got both parts working. So, how are you today? I'm still enjoying our cool weather and loving it. Everybody else is hating it. And I just keep reminding them about 2 years ago, we had over 100 degrees for I don't know how long and no rain. And that's very unlike South Louisiana. So, anyway, I'm Laura Lee Collet, and my website is stampingatthebirdnest.com. Today, we're going to be making a card like one of these. These are all a little different just because of these two are alike. I didn't realize that. And anyway, they're all the same recipe, which means you're going to be doing things alike. And the Let Joy, do you see the little banner underneath here? I'm going to show you how to make that. So let's get started and I'll show you the stamp set and dies that we're using. It's called Sweet Blooms. It's in the annual catalog, and it has some great stamps in here. It's all photopolymer. And let me get out. The one we're going to be using for the card is Let Joy. When I mount my stamp to my block, I like to put it down. Let me turn this glare out. I like to put it down on my table and then put my block on. Okay, and so that's ready to go. And I wanted you to see these dies. I have a page made up, and of course I cannot find it, but the two words here are lovely and bloom. And the special thing about this is that they are going to go on top of each other. And that's how you get the effect of this is Secret Sea. There's Secret Sea and Petunia Pop. And it just gives it a little more definition so that you can see it real well, especially with all the colors. So we're going to be using those two dies. And then it has the same setup for Lovely and a couple of leaves that are thrown in. So I'm going to set this aside. And today I'm going to be using our liquid glue. Let's put all of that over here. Okay, first thing you're going to do is cut your paper, and it's a standard card base. This is 8.5 by 5.5. It's scored at 4.25. And when you fold it, it's a good idea to have a bone folder because it gives it a good crisp fold and it helps the card to stay flat. Next thing you're going to need a 4 by 5.25 piece of our basic white cardstock that's going to go inside. Then we have our DSP, our designer paper, and let's see, I don't have the name of it right here, but it's one of the ones that goes with this stamp set, and you can find it when you Google it or when you go to stampinup.com and look for me. Okay, then you're going to have a piece that's going to go on the side, and we're going to overlap this right there. So let's do first things first. I'm going to get my liquid Tombow glue. This glue, you remember playing with Elmer's when you were in school? Well, this is very similar. Better hold, of course. And let me see if I need to. Sometimes you need a little pin to poke the end of the glue and get it started. Okay, I'm going to wipe that off. That's one of my good pins. Okay, so we're going to put this right here, and I'm going to turn it over and just go around the edges, and you don't need to do too much in the middle on this one, but I do want to make sure the edges are caught. Okay. So it's going to go right here. Now, I see that this is cut slightly short. Let's see what this looks like. That one's a little short too. So I'm going to show you how to fix that in a second. Okay, so I'm going to put this on top. Sometimes it's hard to get the layers absolutely to match, but there's just about a fix for everything. So I'm going to overlap that, the DSP here. Now, I want to remind you that some of our paper is directional, meaning it has an up and down. So I wanted to make sure I didn't have the flowers standing on their heads. So this one's directional. On the others, it doesn't matter. Now, let me get out my paper trimmer. And all I'm going to do is just trim the bottom of that and fix that little boo-boo. So I'm going to open up my card, and I'm putting it at 5 1/2, and let me see if that gets it all. Let's see if that was enough. Oh, not quite. So I'm going to go just another little bit. Okay, I think that got it. Okay, now that's the way it should look. So if you ever have that problem, just get out your little Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer and do that. Now I'm going to go ahead, since I've got the white card here, I'm going to go ahead and put some liquid glue on that. And put it right on the inside. So now it's ready for your saying. Let me move that over. Now this is one thing about the liquid glue. If you do it quickly and you're off center or doesn't look like it's supposed to, you still have a little wiggle room with it because it hasn't set all the way. Okay, now let's look back at this card. Okay, we need to do the bloom, and I have already cut out, using the background die. This is in Strawberry Slush, and next we're going to be using the die that's going to cut out the word. But before we do that, and I cut these about 2 inches by 4, And I am using our adhesive sheets, and you'll see why when I cut this. Oh, come on. Now, whenever you do this and you're going to run it through your cut and emboss machine, you want to be sure that you don't have anything hanging over. So see, I cut that. It's a little shy on the top and bottom, but that doesn't matter. So the underneath and the place we're going to cut, I'm going to use a little tape to make sure it stays in place when I go to run it through. I'm going to put that right there. And today I'm using our mini cut and emboss. This thing is just so cute. I just love it. A lot of us bought them so that when we go to crops or we go somewhere that we don't want to take the big one, we can use this one. So it's going to go right there. And I'm using the plate 1 and then 2 of the 2s to make the sandwich. Be sure that you remember that the top plate needs to be a little bit longer here. The second plate underneath is going to stick out just a little bit, and that's so the cogs in the machine will catch. So let's see. Okay, and I'm going to run that through. You could almost put that one in your purse. Uh-oh. Okay, now some of that paper came off there for the sticky, so I'm going to have to clean that off when I get through. Okay, so all you're going to do is, first of all, get the word and the die out. And I'm going to throw that piece away. So now we're going to have the word bloom, and it's going to go right on top. But I've got a few little pieces that I need, it's sticking to my finger, that I need to poke out. This is our take your pick tool, and I don't know how I lived without it before it came out. Okay, so once you get all of those poked out, it's easier if you're doing it on a mat. There we go. Okay, now it already started peeling the back off, so we'll go with it there. But you can use this pick if you want to get it started, or use your fingernail, and you just want to gently pull that off. So now you have sticky all over this part, and when you go to put it down, it's going to be much easier than trying to do dots of glue. So let's see, I'm going to put that down just a bit. Okay. Like I said, it sticks to your fingers. Okay, so I got that in. And then the O and the M. Let me get that last little bit up there. Okay, well that's almost cooperated. Now to put it on our card, we're going to need to use some, got paper all over me, use some dimensionals, and our mini dimensionals are great for this. So I'm going to go ahead and put some on the back, but I'm not going to put it down quite yet. So I'm just going to put these on the big parts. The O's work well. You don't have to put this all over. Enough to tack it. And let's see, one on the end. I'm going to go there. Okay, now you see that it's a little bit bigger. I'm going to trim that so that you are only using half of a mini glue dot there, okay? So sometimes you can cut them in half and stick them in places where a big, the original size would not fit. So now we've got our white and our strawberry slush. Remember, our ink pads open like a compact. And let me see, do I have a piece of paper? Apparently I don't. I always like to try it out, and I forgot to get a piece of scratch paper. So I'm going to try it on here, and if it doesn't work, we've got more. Okay. So, we've stamped our word. Now we need to get the shape. And this I'm going to do with our new banner punch. It has 3 different banners, and sometimes you can, if your paper's big enough, you can punch all 3, and then you would have to stamp. But now that I've already stamped my words, I can put it in like so, and then just squeeze down slightly, trying to make sure it's straight. Squeeze down softly and easily with the other one, and then use both hands to get the word out. Okay, now I'm going to use, let's see how that's going to look. I think that'll look fine. I forgot to grab an extra piece of the strawberry slush. So this is Pretty in Pink that I'm using. And I am just putting this so that it's going to be layered on top. Now, let me show you how you do this. It's just so simple. I'm going to take my paper snips, and I'm just going to cut it in half. It doesn't have to be straight. And on each end, I'm going to put just a little bit of glue. Oops, can you see that? I just put it on the end. And then I'm going to take my banner that's split in 2 and make it look like there was a second layer for this. Now, and those look like they're just about straight. This time I'm going to use our larger dimensionals. And I'm going to go ahead and put 3 on here since it was in 2 pieces. And I didn't get that one on there right. There we go. Oops. And there you go. So, this is the reason I didn't put down the bloom yet, because I wanted to see where I wanted to put Let Joy. And on all of these, I kind of put it over the word bloom, but I had bloom at an angle. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right here. Okay, so that's popped up. And then we're going to have the bloom popped up also with our dimensionals. Just need to pull the backs off of these little guys. And okay, does that? Okay, I think I got them all. Now I'm just going to angle it a little bit. And there you have it. But we've got to put some bling. I love using bling. Let me tell you about this tool before I forgot to do it. This is our Take Your Pick tool. On this end is a little bit of putty, and every now and then you have to pull it off if it gets dirty or you use it up, and then just give this barrel a little tiny turn because it's going to come out. So just do it a little bit. Then on this side, it comes with the little spatula, the pointy tool, and it has two stylus. One with a small little ball on the end and one that is a little bit larger. So you get a stylus, a little shovel, a pick, and your putty. And that's what we're going to use right now. These are the iridescent pearls. And I'm not going to promise you, but I think they are still available. See how that putty, you just push it? And I'm going to put it right down there. And let me hold it up so that you can see me this time. I'm just going to take that little putty in and push. And it should come right off. I'm going to do one more because you're always wanting to do things in odd numbers. That's an artist thing that carries over to our stamping. Now, there is your finished card. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. And but I did want to tell you that we have a joining special to die for. Have you heard the news that Stampin' Up! Has a new Stampin' Positioner? And you can stamp accurately on your cardstock. And I'm going to show that to you next time. I hope mine will be in. And there's my husband. And anyway, it's $99. And you get the positioner. It's $99 to join. And with that, you get to pick out products. And they will send you some business supplies. If you don't want to use them, you don't have to. But you get $125 worth of product in there that you get to choose. Plus, you get the positioner. And the positioner is $49. So you're getting, what is that, almost $175 in products for free. Well, you're paying for the $99, but you get the positioner for free. And I am so excited, I can't wait. Plus, I got in a bunch of stamp sets and DSP, DSP, that's our designer paper. And y'all wait till you're able to order. You are just, which should be now. It is gorgeous paper. So take a look at all that. And please place your order at stampingatthebirdnest.com. And if that button doesn't work, go to stampinup.com and then be sure to pick your demonstrator, and I would love to be your demonstrator. So I'm Laura Collet. I try to be here every Thursday. Sometimes I have technical difficulties, but otherwise I'm usually here. So come back and see me next week. I enjoyed being with you. Bye. Love you.